Today on Mystifiles, the curse of the obelisks. What are they? Do they cast dark magic, or are they a beacon of light? How can obelisks be the seeds of earth and the fertilizers of the land? What's the relation between the obelisks and Prophet Solomon? And why King Solomon wanted to seal the veil and trap demons in the obelisks? Stay tuned for more in episode 9 of Mystifiles, where the secret keeps getting stranger. Welcome to Mystifiles, where the unseen leaves traces and the forgotten still whispers. Tonight, we stand before one of the most haunting relics of our ancient past. A single stone, tall, silent, casting a shadow, not just on the ground, but across time. This is the story of the obelisk, a monument that pierces the sky but was built for more than just admiration. Some say it's a structure, some say it's a symbol, but what if it's both? What if it's something far stranger? Tonight, we explore the duality of the obelisk, not just as a physical artifact, a towering stone that stood before the pyramids even had names, but also as a spiritual beacon, a device meant to receive knowledge from beyond this dimension, to bring the divine into the human mind and fertilize not just the land, but the soul. This is Mystifiles, and I am the Mystery Stellar, your guide. And tonight, we descend into the Obelisk Code. Before I start, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to activate the notification bell to stay tuned for the upcoming episodes. Also, the sponsor today is my Mystery and Stoic merch. So, if you like to unlock the ancient world and wear its secret wisdom, our Mystery and Stoic t-shirts fuse powerful symbols, lost wisdom, and mythic style into one bold look. It's not just a t-shirt, it's a story waiting to be worn, only for the strong-minded. And guess what? You won't need a promo code because for limited time offer, all the t-shirts are running only for $15 each. Get yours now before the offer ends soon. I will leave you the link for the online store in the description box. And now, let's dive deep into the rabbit hole. Let's dive in. Let's begin with the obvious. The obelisk is one of the oldest and most enduring structures in ancient Egypt, rising in sacred places like Heliopolis, Karnak, and Luxor. Each carved from a single piece of stone, granite, limestone, moved and erected without modern tools. Even today, we still don't fully understand how, but their shape, their material, was not chosen by accident. You see, the granite used in these obelisks is not just rock, it contains quartz, and quartz does something remarkable. It vibrates, it resonates, it stores energy. In fact, quartz is used in modern-day technology, in clocks, in radios, and even in computers. Could it be that the ancients knew something we didn't? Something we've only just begun to rediscover. Some researchers now suggest that the obelisks weren't just decorative, they were functional. They absorbed sunlight, channeled it down into the earth, and released vibrational frequencies, almost like photosynthesis for the land, a cosmic farming technique. These monoliths soaked in sun, pulsing with energy, may have simulated the fertility of the soil around them. Granite and limestone, both rich in minerals, have been shown to enhance soil health in modern agricultural studies. Could the obelisks have been planted not just as monuments, but as anchors of abundance, and then there's the shape. The obelisk is undeniably phallic, a towering pillar that symbolizes the sun's seed, the force of life ascending to earth. To the ancient Egyptians, this was not lewd, it was sacred. The obelisk was the male principle channeling solar light, energizing the earth and creating life. It stood opposite to the pyramids, which represented the womb female, receptive, mysterious. So physically, the obelisk was a fertilizing force, but both symbolically and possibly literally. But what if that was only half the story? Let's shift now away from soil and sunlight to stars and silence. What if the obelisks were more than just solar antennas? What if they were transmitters? Imagine this, an obelisk standing in the center of a sacred temple, its peak covered in gold, catching the dawn's first light. But rather than just glowing, it's receiving, not from the sun, but from beyond it, from another realm, another dimension, somewhere where knowledge isn't taught, but transmitted. The ancient priests believed that Amun-Ra, the hidden god, the god of mystery, the source of all creation, existed in a form that could not be seen. He existed in the wind, in the vibration, in the unseen frequencies of the universe. To connect with Amun, you had to build a bridge, a pillar, a receiver. And that's what the obelisk was. A beacon meant to catch divine waves of thought and transmit them into the minds of the priests, pharaohs, and mystics of Egypt. Like the ancient download from gods to humans. These were not metaphors, they were technologies. Technologies not of metal and wire, but of stone, resonance, and ritual. Could the obelisks have been part of a network stretching across Egypt, designed to receive and broadcast spiritual intelligence? The same knowledge that built the pyramids, that aligned monuments with Orion, Sirius, and the Milky Way. The same knowledge that modern science is only now beginning to reapproach through quantum theory and vibrational physics. And as we all know, ancient Egyptians were masters of alchemy. And in alchemy, manifestation goes through different stages, where before the knowledge is received to the human mind, it rests in an interdimensional realm, the realm of light. And that knowledge travels from the realm of the unknown veil to the earthly realm, through the human brains. And the obelisks were the spiritual transmitters of ancient Egyptian knowledge that summons the information from the spiritual, representing the fire element, or in other words, the rays of the sun, and gets transmitted in the ancient Egyptian minds in the form of thought representing the air element, then from thought transforms to action representing the water element, and then it materializes to its form representing the earth element. It's not that the ancients were primitive, it's that they were in tune with something we've long forgotten. If your mind is racing and you feel like you fell deep in the mystery well, take a break by liking and sharing this video. Also, my book, The Riddle of Life, a life-changing book that delves deep into the wisdom of life. It's now available on Amazon. However, if you would like to get a free copy of the book, subscribe to my Patreon channel, where you will not only receive the book, but also exclusive content hidden videos, and much more perks. I will leave you the link for my Patreon channel in my description box. And now, a twist in the tale. To understand the obelisks, we must look outside Egypt to another story, another mystery. The story of Prophet Solomon. In Islamic tradition, Solomon, or Sulaiman alayhi salam, was not just a prophet, he was a master of the unseen. With a ring of power, he could command the jinn, interdimensional beings of smoke and fire, entities of immense intelligence and strength, who helped him build his temple, shape his kingdom, and defend his lands. Solomon's temple was not just stone, it was magic, a construction built with the help of beings not of this world. Now listen closely. What if the obelisks served the same function? What if they weren't just tools to talk to the gods, but tools to summon beings just like Solomon's jinn? What if the obelisks acted as dimensional gates, attracting entities from realms beyond, bringing knowledge, ideas, and designs that shaped Egypt into one of the most advanced civilizations the world has ever known? Just as Solomon used jinn to build his temple, perhaps the ancient Egyptians used obelisks to bring forth builders from beyond the veil. Before the veil was sealed, before the connection to those realms was lost. Could this be why some obelisks were never finished? Why some were abandoned, shattered mid-carving? Maybe something changed, something closed the gateway. As in the Abrahamic teachings, Solomon sealed the veil, and the jinn were no longer able to manifest physically and assist humans directly because of how the earth was corrupted by the acts of those interdimensional beings. Yet the structures remained, waiting, silent, still aligned, still humming beneath the surface. But Solomon's wisdom was deep and foreboding. In ancient, rarely spoken prophecies attributed to Solomon, there is mention that the veil, the thin wall between our world and the interdimensional planes, would one day tear open again. He warned that when humanity forgets the ancient ways, the gates would close. But in times of great upheaval, when curiosity, ambition, and desperation reach their zenith, the veil would weaken, and once again, the beings of the unseen would reach out, and one day, that secret hidden line of the unseen between us and them will start becoming thinner and thinner to a point they will connect to our world. Have you heard the warnings? Haven't you? Don't buy second-hand furniture. Don't bring home that old mirror. Spirits attach themselves to objects. It's superstition, they say. But what if it's not? What if some objects, especially those carved with purpose, blessed with blood, bathed in sacred rituals, what if those objects don't just remember their creators? What if they keep them? This idea is tied to one of the world's oldest belief systems, animism. And animism was highly respected and heavily practiced in ancient Egypt. The belief that every object, every rock, every tree has a spirit, an energy. Animism isn't just tribal, it's mystical. You can also ask Native Americans. they can tell you a lot about it. And it might just be the key to understanding how spirits cling to stone. But this isn't just about the objects, this is about power. And the one man who understood this power better than anyone was Prophet Solomon alayhi salam. According to the ancient Islamic and Jewish lore, Solomon was no mere king. He was a binder of jinn. Some say he could speak the language of birds. Others believe he commanded entire legions of spirits. Few know this. He didn't just banish them. He imprisoned them in vessels, in jars, and some say in stones. But surely it wasn't just Solomon that knew this kind of magic. The ancient Egyptians were very powerful practitioners of such magic. So they carved a towering structure, an obelisk, not as a symbol, but as a seal. Each side inscribed with hieroglyphs, each word a part of the binding spell, an ancient program coded in stone. Fast forward today, that same obelisk stands in a plaza, a museum, or central parks, or who knows, might be churches or places of worship. People walk past it, take photos, smile. They don't hear the whispers. They don't feel the ancient presence pulsing beneath the granite. But some do. Empath, sensitives, children, and even cats. And what if, just what if, the obelisks we've taken from Egypt, shipped across oceans, and erected in the heart of our cities, what if those were the ones Solomon sealed himself? What happens when the carving erodes, when the bindings fade? Are we ready for what wakes? And now, in modern times, quietly beneath the surface of public knowledge, a reawakening stirs. Secret societies, mystics, scientists of the edge of discovery are all knowingly or unknowingly attempting to reactivate the forgotten gateways. Magic, once dismissed as superstition, is being reborn through quantum theories, dark energy experiments, and spiritual awakenings. Could it be that the new obelisks are rising in digital form, new temples built not from stone, but from information? The past, it seems, is whispering once again, beaconing the brave to listen. We stand at the threshold, my friends, between the seen and the unseen, between forgotten wisdom and the birth of a new age. What was it that Solomon truly battled? Ancient esoteric writings and forgotten oral traditions whisper of a time long before ours, a hidden war raging between humanity and interdimensional beings. Not mere myth, but a clash for the very soul of our world. The demons, the jinn, the shadowed entities of smoke and flame sought dominion over the earth. They offered forbidden knowledge, tempting humankind with powers they could scarcely comprehend. And the obelisks were part of this knowledge, but in the ancient Egyptian realm. Civilizations rose and fell. Under their influence, chaos rippled across dimensions, and it was Solomon, armed not just with wisdom, but with sacred divine authority, who stood between the two realms. using ancient sigils, lost incantations, and the very language of creation. Solomon sealed the rift. He imprisoned the most malevolent beings within unseen prisons, binding them beneath the sands, inside stones, deep under the ocean, even within the very air around us. The gates were closed. The veil was fortified. Humanity was safe for a time. But every seal can weaken. Every lock can decay with time. The whispers suggest that in our modern age, through reckless experiments, forgotten rituals revived in secret circles, and the unchecked hunger for more knowledge, the seals that Solomon placed are beginning to tremble. Cracks appear where there were none. Portals flicker where only air should be. And as technology grows more intertwined with the fabric of reality, the old chains may break. Are we unknowingly tearing open what Solomon fought to protect? What if I tell you that ancient Egyptian religion is still being preserved for centuries and practiced, hidden in the folds of history? Secret societies have traced the lines of the obelisks, deciphered their frequencies, and bent their silent energy to reshape the destiny of mankind in the shadows and not in the light, as the knowledge was forbidden from the public and prosecuted by the church. Societies of secret bloodlines practiced their rituals in the shadows of time and reopened the gates of the ancient. The truth was never lost. It was hidden behind veils of ritual, blood oaths, and forgotten languages. In the next episode of Mystifiles, we dive deep into an interesting kind of exorcism, the exorcism of the obelisk. And we will delve into the nature and the name of the entity that lives inside those obelisks and the hidden hands behind it. Stay tuned as the secret keeps getting stranger. I would like to thank everyone for reaching this part of the podcast. Also, if you would like to support my work, you can do that by becoming a Patreon or by buying my book, The Riddle of Life. I will leave you the links in the description box. Also, if you would like to know why the pyramids were built and the secret behind those deep wells underneath them, check this video on the right.